The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users, on demand on iTunes and on YouTube, and on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you are encouraged to post your comments, whether you agree with me or not. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, did we have comments about Sarah Palin over the weekend. It might have been a record number of comments. And thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated across the United States into 12 million additional households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. Before we begin our conversation about Sarah Palin, I just want to remark that today in the United States is Veterans Day. It is a moment that we thank those who have served our country. And I know in other nations you have your version of Veterans Day as well. And we hope that when the occasion occurs in your nation, you do so as well. They are the ones that keep this nation free and strong. And you know, it's a little early in my mind. I was grocery shopping just the other day, and they were already playing Christmas music, and I went, oh yuck, already? It's way too soon to talk about Christmas. But I do want to point out that at Sears, if you are an employee of Sears and you're called out by the National Guard or the Reserve onto active duty, they continue your benefits and pay the difference between what Uncle Sam is giving you and your salary. So if you're thinking about where to spend your money for the holiday shopping season, you may want to keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, well, with that little endorsement, they should start advertising on News Talk Online, shouldn't they, after that? With that little endorsement, let me just say that Sarah Palin was a lightning rod during the campaign, and she remains a lightning rod after the campaign, without question. The several members, I won't say who because I don't know, because Fox News, which broke the story, failed to tell us, of the McCain campaign, now are trying to shift blame for the loss onto Sarah Palin. And I find it disconcerting that Fox is citing unnamed sources and also indicating that they knew that there were members of the McCain campaign who were concerned about Sarah Palin, and they told them about it, but they withheld the story until after the election, which erodes one's confidence in the news media, in my opinion. But you know what? She's not letting this daunt her at all. I mean, there's talk about her being the next U.S. Senator from Alaska. If Ted Stevens is elected, in spite of the fact that he was convicted, he will be removed shortly thereafter. So there will be an opening. She may run for that position. Clearly she is the darling of some in the Republican Party, clearly the conservative end of the Republican Party, and the brunt of jokes as well by comedians and those on the left. Some consider her a breath of fresh air, some consider her a bit of a doofus. Some are very proud of her and say, you know, those of you who are making fun of Sarah Palin would make fun of a Democrat woman candidate for office like you do Sarah Palin. So what's going on with her? Did she get into this campaign truly to become vice president? She get into this campaign when it was offered to her because she had expectations of staying on the national scene in the future. She's actually made some comments to the newspaper there in Anchorage about that, about how the focus is now on Alaska and will remain on Alaska for some time to come. So it was a good thing that she ran, even though she lost. Quite the lightning rod. Now let's go to our first caller, Sylvia in Argentina. Sylvia, you have a woman president there. Would you like to compare your president with Sarah Palin? And welcome to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
Yes, Gary. Here, well, we have Christina. Here, there is another Argentine that cannot let me lie about this. I didn't vote my president. Can you hear me? It's okay.
Yep.
But okay. Yes, it is hard. I don't say that it is the best president, that because there are many things that there is going on. But to be a woman or be a man, the most important is how you really what you do in the presidency. But what I see about I try to support because we know what is to not have democracy, to not have a government. So it's very important to think first in the country. But it's not all ideal, but we don't see the difference between a woman or a man. But what I was watching here, the Sarah Palin.
Well, I see a difference between a woman or a man. Actually, there's a distinct biological difference. Oh, you mean in terms of political abilities? I see what you're saying.
Yes, but there is you have to prove maybe much more because of course there are. You see, when Sarah Palin was in the Republican convention, was a very huge thing. That is like what's the star of the Republican. But I was worried about this because at that moment McCain has a very good profile, and I think that he won in that moment. But I see what she was doing, that she talked with a person that is a false person that tried to talk in French, like he was the